No thanks to the
We're live on
questions.
SPG.
We're about to be live on my side.
All
2
right.
seconds. Start streaming. I think we're going to be good on my end too.
All right.
And pray. Ooh. You know what this calls for? Ooh. A drink.
Calls for a drink.
Okay. I wish I could say fashionably late, but we are not fashionably late. We are
Just late.
technologically advanced late. Yeah, just late. All right. Let me get to my thing so we can play our intro in just a second after we say welcome to Only Frets. My name's Jonathan.
And I am Sean. And this is Only
It's Only
Friends.
Frets.
You're live in 3, 2, 1.
I can't promise there was any audio on my intro.
I think I had audio on mine, so I'm hopeful.
This is what I get for taking a vacation.
What are you holding there, Holden McHoldenson?
Holden McHoldenson is holding a Gibson Les Paul Standard, but this is the 60s. This is the 60s
Nice.
version, so it's thinner neck, sort of flamey-ish top on. I think it's a AA maple flame, which I kind of prefer. I prefer more plain top, not flame tops.
Yeah.
So like the AAA, quadruple A, all that kind of weird, like over the top, flashy, blingy. I'm not all about it. Just give me a plain top, and I'm happy.
Yeah, man.
If it's in tune. Can't play it either. I'm not playing it in a couple of days. But it's in tune, and I really like that tone I got on the UK Invasion is what it is. There you go. Whatever.
That's nice.
What do you got? Get off.
Oh, the old made in Japan 95 with the Seymour Duncans in it.
Nice.
Anyway, just a good old it's a good old sunburst day for you and I, sir.
It is.
Yeah.
I think this is more of a. I think they call this one tri-burst, but say
It's
there's
nice.
fire burst, tri-burst, sunburst, whatever. It's all the same difference, right?
Is that a black back?
No, it's not. It's a cherry back.
Nice.
It was
I
a black
really-
back. That'd be-
I like it when they do the black burst and then black back. That always looks cool to me.
Oh, yeah.
But that cherry's super nice. It's cherry, if you will.
Yeah, I'm normally not a cherry. Like I'm more of like a honey burst, lemon burst kind of thing. But I was like, man, I think it's the dark around the edges that really do it for me. With the black around the edge.
I like
So, I don't
the
know.
clown burst on my paw here. Hold on. Grab the clown burst. I always thought it was funny that they called it that. And it's super apparent, like when there isn't that extra like orange in it, you know?
Yep.
Like it just go. And the weirdest part about these 70s ones is how thin they decided to go on the burst.
Hmm.
Like, doesn't that look weird to you? Like, it's
It
kind of,
does, yeah. Because like you look at mine, and it's like
it's
it
so
goes
much
out.
deeper. Yeah.
It's like an inch and a half out. something
Right.
Like that. Yours is like maybe half an inch.
It's it's like maybe 3/4 or ½ inch for sure. Yeah, it's about half. And they bursted the back on this, and actually the burst is deeper on the back than it is on the front, as far as like this would be preferable over here, you
Right.
know? It's just a really strange. And then the sides are, so this has it's like reverse bursted on the side.
Ooh.
Very strange. So you can see here, they have deep cherry here, and then it fades and bursts again up here. It's a really strange, and then they bursted the neck on this too, which is kind of a cool touch. But it's like it bursted the neck and the headstock. It's like, bro, whatever you all were on in the 70s was good stuff.
They were on everything and anything in the 70s, from what I understand. But yeah, so I have a little bit more leeway today because, like I said, I've been on vacation. I'm off work all this week, so I have no meetings, no calls, no nothing like that, nothing to interrupt us. But again, naturally, even then, we couldn't start on time. Which some people would probably be like hating on us for that, which I think is a good-ish segue into our topic.
Yeah.
Is told by our subjects, or titles, or whatever, addressing the haters, because we had an interesting comment come up on my channel recently. I'll have to go back and find it to get the exact details of it. But hate is nothing new for me. I seem to get it all the time.
I
For just
don't.
simply making a video and playing guitar.
I have no idea. I don't know if it was like the timing of when your channel started ratcheting up or like whatever, but you get the soupiest of soup of haters on your channel. It's so wild.
Yeah, it always has to do with, oh, your tone sucks, or your playing is whatever. And it's like, I get more compliments on my playing than anything else. And I don't ever go out and say, like, I'm the best. I know I'm not the best. I could be spades better than I am. But, I think I get by, right? I get by with my playing.
You're a
I've been
good
playing for
player.
a while. I know my way around the
Yeah.
deck. So, yeah, so there you go. And the one that we wanted to talk about today, I posted on my Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably would have seen it. But this was on I think my NewX Mighty 60 amp video I did a while back. You don't know what that is, it's just a big combo. It's almost like I think it's supposed to be like the Line 6 Catalyst amp, like the competition for there. Like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Great amp, I use it all the time. He said, let's do a demo with the crummiest distorted amp sound in the world and really hear what this sounds like with a thumb emoji. That was a great idea. Fudge off, I won't read your comments. And I'm like, you're gonna leave a rude comment and then tell me to fudge off like you're an 11-year-old. I'm like, let me show you how it's done. And and then of course, typically when you reply to that, they don't ever come back and say anything else, which I find to be funnier than anything else that I could possibly say. It's just whenever you just take it, like a little bitch. But anyway, did I say that?
So
I did say that.
I have something to say. Matthew Reynolds, piss up a fucking rope, dude. Like, if he watches this, I'm cursing right now. I'm mad. I was mad. Seriously, okay, here's where I get lost in this. Okay. YouTube is a vast, sprawling landscape of topics, subjects, life. There's freaking echo on my voice. Oh, it's probably my feedback from my, hold on, let me turn my speakers down a little bit. Thank you, Mountain Man. That should fix it. It's like this vast, sprawling landscape of options. So you have options, right? So Jonathan, let me ask you a real quick, you could just yes or no. Have you ever watched a video on YouTube that you didn't like, and then rather than just going to a different video, you decided you would let everybody in the comments section know how much you didn't like it?
No.
So that's where I get lost. It's like, literally, it's like, okay, pretend it's 1997 and you have a cable box hooked up to your television and you're flipping channel. You flip channels. You don't just sit there and like, I'm going to call the station about this show. It's trash. And like, go out of your way to like, let everybody who's broadcast, like call the broadcast network and be like, this station is playing garbage TV right now as we speak. Turn it off. Stop playing that show. It's like, who are you? Who do you think you are? Like, just go on to the next video, bro. It ain't for you. Like, if you don't like it, just go on to the next video. I just can't wrap my mind around. I can wrap my mind around the thumbs down. It's there. If you want to leave a thumbs down, leave a thumbs down. But like taking time out of your day to like drop and tell somebody to fudge off because they demoed an amp or something, it's like, who are you? Like, what are you doing for the world right now? I just can't do it, dude. I don't get it.
So then you got things. We'll kind of stay on that because I'm gonna just try to look for it, but I remember the context of it a little bit. Basically, a guy was trying to tell me like, oh, you got this for free. I think it was on that amp too, that same amp.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, you got it for free because it was sponsored to you, and you're just gonna say whatever because you have to. And I'm like, no, I don't have to. I'll tell you if it's bad, but I'm like, it's not bad. It's pretty good for what it is. Blah blah blah. I kind of want to find what he said, but then he went back and was like, well, you got it for free. So what? And I'm like, so you're clearly upset that I got something for free and you didn't. That's the whole underlying thing here. It's like, that's not cool, I guess. But I don't know. It's a little exhausting sometimes when you see it just back to back to back to back. But I kind of just learned to laugh at it and just be like, oh, okay, it's another hate comment. It's not gonna ruin my day. Whatever you're trying to do, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. You're not gonna ruin my day. You're not gonna make me second guess my opinion. And I said it, and I had all the time in the world to edit it out or re-record the video, and I didn't.
Yeah.
So it's there. You saw it, you heard it, like it's there.
Right.
Take it or leave it. That's kind of just the way that I think about it.
I had one. Okay, here it is, right here. So I had this one guy. Hold on, let me move my microphone just a little bit. My Fender GTX 100. Okay, real quick, shout out Mountain Man, Keith, Steve Gunner. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate y'all over on my channel. There's one other viewer that has not made themselves known in the comments or in the chat, but I appreciate y'all watching. I got this comment like 6 months ago on one of my very first YouTube videos ever on my Fender GTX 100. And what I was trying to do was show, I was using this guitar actually. I was trying to show like how loud it is in the room. So I just used my phone because I wasn't all set up yet or anything. So I just used like my phone camera, and I was trying to like talk while the guitar was playing so people could kind of grasp. It's like drowning out my voice in the video, And the dude commented, this was 6 months ago on a 3-year-old video. Okay. So he says, this proves nothing. LOL. I'm sure it will gig. I have the GTX 50 and I know it will gig. Just run 2 XLRs and the mixing board. You need drums, bass, and a singer and a crowd talking to prove it's giggable, not a phone mic with a laughing face, right? And I was like, so I took a second and I was gonna I've always been better. Like when somebody talks trash to you, Jonathan, in your comments, I get like riled up about it. But like I can take a lot myself, You're probably similar. But I said, fair enough. Thanks for watching.
Right.
I mean, frankly, he's not wrong. Like none of the, like he's being a dick about it, but he's not wrong. Like it doesn't prove anything. Like the video kind of doesn't prove anything to people watching it via YouTube. And then he goes, right. Your response to my comment proves you're a gracious man. I wish you well with your, I'm like bot, I'm kind of thinking bot, like just the way it was said, Yeah. And I was like, your opinion's totally valid and you are even correct. It doesn't really prove anything. I can say that my windows were rattling in my house, but it definitely doesn't do a great job of displaying the loudness of the amp. I don't have like a decibel meter or anything like that. And then he he really like loosened up about that. And so that was kind of my most recent sort of. I don't get it. I don't get as much as you do, probably because I just don't have as many subs. But even on my like really big videos, I haven't had a lot of like negativity, and I've been blessed with that. But like when I see, like when you post your Instagram posts and your screenshot and comments, dude, I get so fired up about that. Just like, who are you?
Yeah, it's a lot of that where it's like who are you to say that? Here's another one. Speaking of like a who is this guy? Because I got a bunch of these on my Instagram. Going back to my infamous Jimi Hendrix. This is on the short, by the way. He said, since we're name dropping here, Camille Jones 3724, no relation. First of all, who is this guy, and does he have an artistic bone in his body? Can he recreate something so powerful? That's the real question. And I'm like, well, I didn't say this, but I'm like, first off, check my channel, dick. I said, well, and this was funny too with this one, was I think this one got deleted. I don't know if they deleted their comment or if like YouTube flagged my reply or something, which I don't think this one was very whatever. Oh yeah, no, this one was read or whatever. I said, well, I introduced myself in almost all my videos, so you can find out there in case you missed the name of the channel. And I feel like I have a few artistic bones. A few artistic bones, yeah. I've made some interesting videos, wrote some cool riffs, and art is subjective. My biggest best bone is regularly inside your mother, painting her uterine walls, trying to correct the mistake that was your birth, so comments like yours are less frequent. And that's the real answer.
Ugh.
So I was like, okay. That I don't know if that got erased or if that was flagged or what, but
Wow.
I thought it was funny.
Keith says, if I don't like a video, I just move on. It's rude to do anything more, even if the person in the video is horrible. You got to just move on. Good point. And then he follows that up. Oh, Mountain Man says, if you don't like, don't watch it. Just go away. Good call. Mountain Man says, what a dick to what you just read. And then he says, what are they accomplishing by mentioning anything? Not like it will change anyone's mind about the video. Only thing it will do is give negative impression on the person who left the comment. Exactly. So all you're doing is making others think less of you as the commenter. So this applies like,
right.
Obviously we're in like quite literally the most like hotly debated political times of our lives, primarily because of social media.
Oh yeah.
And it's wild, and we're not going to talk about that, but it does pertain like the overall mentality of online right now. I believe that it stems from that. Like, it comes from like that mentality that you can say whatever you want to without, so I got this reminds me, mediocre cover band guitar guy on YouTube. Everybody should go sub to that dude's channel. He is quite frankly like the most just like flat out honest dude on YouTube, one of them. Really, really awesome guitar player and cool guy. And he shouted me out in one of his videos, so I want to return the favor. But he just did a video on crap. What were we talking about? I lost it. He just did a video on that, and it's just like you're not, it's like Keith said, you're not going to change anybody's opinion about the person who made the video. You're only going to frame everybody's opinion about who you are. It just doesn't make any sense at all. I don't think that's where I was going with that. But
and if you have other people like double stacking in there, like, oh yeah, I agree. It's like that can be kind of, I guess, not intimidating, but just like maybe demoralizing a little bit, where you're like, oh yeah, maybe they're right, but you got to get out of that mix too. Another one that I had, I thought I was kind of thinking, oh man, it keeps reloading mine. Basically, the guy, here it is. So he commented on my Epiphone DR100 video, that acoustic video. This is a while back. He left 3 comments. He said the first one, that hair is crazy, bro. So insult right off the bat. Deleted that comment and then went on to say, is this a good investment as a student? So you insulted me and then went around, deleted your comment and asked for advice, which not that that's a big insult or anything, but you know what I'm saying. I was just like, what's the point of doing that? Like, you think I'm going to give you any actual advice after you just said something like
Right.
that? So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's like how much of it is like I wouldn't presume that my channel's like really big enough to get like a lot of bot comments. There is a lot of stuff like that out there.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a couple of my videos are, you know, I have like, I don't know, my Flying V build has like 16,000 views, which is the by far the most. It's like not even close. And I think just dudes love watching people build guitars.
Right.
But it just it's been relatively positive. I think that perchance the fact that my little boys are in that video, it's protected it a little bit from, and I didn't turn on like heavy moderation or anything like that. So
Yeah.
like sometimes that that does help. I did turn on heavy moderation on the not a Dumble video because we're growing over here a little bit, so I just wanted to make sure I had a chance to like review some stuff when you're putting the kids up online. But
Oh yeah.
you know, ton of hate. You know, one channel that's dealt with a decent amount. It seems like the gear review channels, like the you know your channel's like heavily based in gear review. Those are the most like hot comment sections for sure. Searching for Tone, Brian over there, he gets a lot of well, not a lot, but he deals with some negative, probably about the same amount as you know as you do, per capita, if you will. But yeah, I mean, relatively, you know, I always scroll through your comments basically like the first day. I always seem to miss the negative ones, but I need to start like going back and rechecking. But because I like to troll your comments section if I can. But I see a lot of positive. It's overwhelmingly positive. Like your subscriber base
Yeah. I mean,
is
because if
dope.
not, I would have Instagram. I would have Instagram material, you know, all day long if it wasn't negative or if it wasn't positive.
Right.
There was one guy going back to my Jimi Hendrix one, said, "When you too dumb to get the message." And I'm like, oh, the irony. But because I mean,
Well-
it's usually it's with a lot of these comments too. It's like open mouth insert foot kind of thing,
Yeah.
and it's like can you just like proofread what you said? Like, because you know that's always a good point to attack back on, is like, you know, just play grammar Nazi and be like, oh, you missed a comma here, by the way, or it's your, not your, or, you know, that kind of whole thing.
Yeah. Say what you just wrote out loud, bro.
Right. Yeah. Say it again slowly. Yeah. No. And I think it goes back to kind of what you said about like the climate we live in outside. It's just people are just getting so like ballsy. They're just so brave, especially behind a computer. It's always kind of been the case.
Yeah.
But given the climate that we're in, it's just like people just will say all kind of off the wall shit all the time and just think there are no consequences. And then they get upset when you rebuttal back to them. It's like, oh, now I'm offended. It's like, no, don't play that.
You know, everybody's real tough until they're like in person. It's like you're not going to say that stuff to somebody at the grocery store. You know, you might not even talk like that to somebody at the bar when you've had a few. You know, because the threat of physical violence is present. Like I'm not an intimidating person. You know, I'm not like a real big guy, but I've met guys that I was like, I'm not gonna like you know, say anything about that to that guy, you know. Like I've certainly experienced it on the other end for sure. You know, when you're 5'10", people think they can say whatever they want to you, no matter where you're at. But you know, they find out about the little guy pretty quickly. I think the red beard and the scowl helps, but it's just
I always
funny.
like to say, everybody thinks they're Billy Badass until they run into Billy Badass.
Yes,
And that's true.
100%,
I
dude.
mean,
It's
it's
that
like that
bad,
instant
bad
karma thing.
Leroy Brown song, It's by Jim Croce.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, he ran into,
Mm.
you think you're the goat until you run into the goat. And then everything gets
Yep.
realigned in your brain. You're like, oh, I need to probably like adjust the way that I talk to people and stuff like that. So, let's
And I
see.
hate it too, though. Oh, go ahead.
No, finish your thought.
I was gonna say I hate it too because there are so many people that get humbled, but they never learn their lesson. And I
That's
can tell
true.
that I follow this page on Facebook. It's like a local crime page, right? So you'll see mugshots on there. It's like a newspaper that runs it. I guess like a local newspaper kind of thing. And mugshots are public record, but they'll post them up on there, and you'll see the same people come up just time and time and time again for the same thing. And it's like, a lot of it could be like, assault charges or whatever, like they're beating somebody up. It's like, well, if you get your ass handed to you, like, when are you going to learn? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't, kind of same thing online. It's like when you get told off so many times and you realize that you're just saying nonsense, like, when are you going to learn that, like, just shut up and just do like you said, move on. Like, at the end of the day, when it's online, it's dumb anyway.
You're just
You know what you can
losing.
do? Close the page. Close the page. Skip
Yeah.
the video. Don't read the article. Sign out of your Facebook or whatever. Scroll past it. Whatever. I mean, you doom scroll and see an Instagram post. It's like, oh, especially right now. I won't go into the details
No.
of why, but I mean,
I
can
did
kinda-
get off. I did
Yeah.
get off Facebook temporarily because of all the stuff, and it's just like you're just shouting into like a box of people that already agree with you a lot of the time, and it's just like all you're doing is like berating your friends and family about your opinion about something. All you're doing in the comments section on YouTube is berating the one guy, and then everybody sees your comment and disagrees with you because they're subscribers, because they like the video. Oh, it's just like
Exactly.
the group that I have right now, the
Exactly.
307
Rick
subs.
Richards in my comments. Ready?
Who's that?
Sorry. Rick
Oh.
Richards in my comments just before we got off on another tangent. Greetings from the UK, buddy. He
Yeah,
comments
hey
on a lot of my
man.
videos. I just wanted to address him before he
Absolutely.
Here we got too deep into it. So
Yeah,
sorry
I
to
got
cut you off. Plus, you're cutting in and out on my side.
Same.
It's
We're
lagging
having
just a
some
little bit, so
we're having
I don't
some
mean to cut you off.
difficulties for sure. Let's see. I had a couple I wanted to address. Stealth Guitars in the chat and Mark Spurgeon's in the chat. What's up, boys? Stealth says, if you put yourself out there, one will get haters. My channel is small. I can't believe some of the comments I get. I delete most of the bad ones. Good call. I mean, nobody has time for that in their life. And then Steve says, people need to learn to be quick to listen, slow to respond. Also good. Yeah, man. I mean, it's just everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Mike Tyson. That's right, dude. That's it. I mean, and I'm not I used to, quick story. You were talking about guys that never learn. There was everyone shall remain nameless except for me, but there was a guy back in the day, and one night he was on one, and he was knocking his girlfriend around, and I just I mean, that's my trigger, and dude, I tuned that dude up, and this was out in the country. We were in Idaho, and he's a big guy. He's like 6'4", just got out of like army boot camp, and I was so mad it didn't matter, and so like I tuned that dude up, and then I saw him. He's a buddy, so like, well, he was like a classmate or whatever, and so I seen him the next day at my buddy's house, and he was laid up on the couch. Turns out, after he took a licking from me, he was talking trash to other dudes at the party because I had left, and he got beat up again in the same night. And then his face was just like, mashed potatoes when I saw him.
Yeah.
And then he was talking trash to me when I walked into my buddy's house the next morning. He was talking to me and I was like, "You trying to catch another one, bro?" And like,
Right.
I left him alone, but that was not even like the last time that I heard of that dude getting knocked around. And it was just like, so you're right. Sometimes it doesn't really fix the problem. Sometimes some dudes are just a problem because they are a problem.
Yeah, it's like you hate it because you wish you could just, you know, send them somewhere like to Ohio or wherever. But anyway. Um,
Send him to
I
Ohio.
mean,
Yeah, I don't know, bro. It's
yeah,
wild.
yeah. I don't get it. I mean, we're just here to play guitar, man. That's all we're doing is just.
Let me hear that thing.
And it's like someone be like, "Oh, that tone's terrible," or
Yeah.
"I can tell it's
Yeah.
well." It's like, who cares? Who cares?
Who
Does it sound
cares?
okay? I mean, it sounds okay to me. That's all that really matters. You
Speaking of
know?
decent tone, that little amp you demoed today on your channel.
Oh yes, yeah. The Donner Cyclops. That thing's cool. A couple different built-in amp sims to it. Some effects. I mean, it's definitely on par with something like the Black Starfly 3 or the Boss Katana Mini, things like that. Um, and I've said it a bunch of times on my channel. I love the small desktop amplifiers. They're just they've all kind of blown me away for the most part. Not all of them are good, but I mean, every time I've gotten one, just about, I'm just like, wow. I mean, I've even got a really really tiny one, like really small, that came with a Donner guitar that I got not that long ago, and I mean, it's cool. It's really cool. I mean, like it can fit in your pocket. It's so tiny,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's cool. I like it. Yeah, but the Cyclops is it's got like a retro look to it, kind of all around. It looks like an old TV set, kind of. I'm like, I don't know, like from Fallout, I guess. I know that's not retro; it's like futuristic retro, but that's what it reminded me of. It's like something
Yeah.
you'd see in the Fallout,
Yeah,
video games,
like
like an old TV
50s
set.
esque kind of vibes to it or whatever.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, and I actually had like like I said before, I've been on vacation, but I actually had all these videos like set for this week, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not working this week. Period. I'm not making any videos. I've got a couple of videos to make, but I'm trying to just stay off. Aside from doing this isn't work. This is a fun hangout time.
Right.
But yeah, I've tried not to work this week, even though it seems like I have just been busting my rear end. That's all been done.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell in your at the end of that Cyclops video that you were at the end of your run there for, I mean, I know that was like a morning video, but you were so tired. You're like, I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah, you're probably going to see like me and my. I think I was in the. I wasn't in the tank top in that video, was I? I had like a Mustang tank top on for like a couple of the videos because I just shot them back to back to back to back, and I mean it's worked out thus far, But
Yep.
I always try to do like, because I feel like this is one of those like little nuanced things that I always think about, and I'm like hypercritical of myself about. If I wear like the same shirt, like if I wore this shirt and made
Yeah.
10 videos and released them like over 10 weeks, people would be like,
Everybody'd
man, this
know.
dude just don't change his shirt. Like he just is wearing the same shirt in every video. It's like, no, I did it all in a day and then shower and change like a normal person. I know that sounds so stupid, but I also don't want to sit and blow through 20 shirts or something if I'm on a recording frenzy and I'm like,
Right.
I now got all these like, are they dirty? I wore them for like 20 minutes, kind of thing.
I'm real bad. I do blow through shirts. I sweat like way too much, so I'm always changing my shirt. Show and tell time.
Ooh. We got an empty seat there.
Pop, 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 pop.
That's a familiar shape.
We are going to start working on this because the laundry room is looking real nice right now. It's not all the way done, but it is 95%. I got like some painting and caulking to do and a little bit of trim work left, but we're so close, dude. So I
We
actually
just filmed all of that and like made a DIY channel. It's on the side. Sean does.
I should have. Yeah, I should have done a laundry room transformation. But
There you go.
I just got done shooting my second of this series video where we kind of go through all the parts and I ding the headstock and 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 just kind of starting to make a list of like things that were in the kit that will get changed and stuff. So everybody be on the lookout for that, because I'm gonna probably post that like tomorrow or something.
Part 3, relicking.
Yeah, right. Now I actually talked
We
about
ding
that.
the headstock.
I thought about doing a relic on this. Shout out George. Shout out Randy.
You want to get
Tripp.
some hate comments?
Yeah, and so I thought about relicking, but the Lawler pickups I got I didn't get the relic finish, so I was like, I'm just gonna stick with going shiny new on this. Plus, bro, if you look at like that close up or my Harley Benton jazz guitar close up, I kind of did not do a great job with the finish, and so this is a challenge for myself to try and make it look like a brand new, like off the shelf kind of guitar. So I want to try and do as good of a job on this as I can. But dude, it's not together yet. The neck comes off, but it's like, dude, the shape of it is real nice. And I actually have like a Bigsby in one of those Bigsby saddles, like the drop-in saddle that they make, the conversion saddle.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about going Bigsby on this to kind of, it feels pretty well balanced, but I think just that little bit of weight there would. So anyway,
that'd be cool.
that's coming up.
I'm
I'm excited.
I did almost buy a Firebird when I was in I don't want to say the wrong one. Knoxville. I was in Knoxville, not Nashville. So Sean already knows, but for everybody else, if you care, we went to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge and stuff. So when we drove back, there's a Guitar Center in Knoxville, and we stopped there, and they had so many cool like used guitars. I had so
Really?
many that I was like, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one, and I almost got. There were a couple that I almost got, but here's the thing: that we don't have this here that I'm aware of. I guess there's like a local ordinance or something somewhere, and if you look on the tag, it'll say available for pickup at this date. So conveniently, everything that I looked at the Firebird, I looked at a Ibanez Iceman, whatever, Iceman, we'll call it Iceman. There was an Epiphone Les Paul standard. It was the Royale with the gold flake binding. Those things are cool. There was a Jackson made in Japan, the Irides swirl. Oh my god!
Really?
One of those forever. Yeah, I've been looking for one of those forever, but couldn't buy them. You could pay for it, but you couldn't come back and pick it up until the date had passed, and they were all in like late June, early July, and I'm like, oh my god, of course.
That's like
Ship it to you, but
it's like on 40-Year-Old Virgin, where it's like the sell or buy our stuff on eBay store, where like she kept everything in the store, but you couldn't pay for it and walk out with it. You had to like go online and buy it, and then she sent it to you. So strange.
well, and they do. I know why they do it, and I get it. It kind of sucks. They do it for the background checks to make sure the stuff's not stolen. But I'm like, why put it out on the floor? Why put it out there if someone's going to pay for it, get all excited about it? Oh, I get this in a week, and then it comes back stolen, and they're like, oh, sorry, we got a refund. Like, you just screwed somebody out of a good time, you know? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Does that make any
Yeah,
sense?
that's really weird.
But, you know, like I said, I get it. But as far as I know, here in Georgia, where I'm at, we don't have that. Because I sell stuff at Guitar Center all the time. And I always like to get on the app the next day and check the local store that I went to or whatever and see what they're listing it for. And they'll list it right away and they'll sell it right away.
Yeah.
But I've never seen those tags before. I think Get Offset actually did a video on this recently. I don't know if it was a short or whatever, But she said that's how you can kind of get a good deal at Guitar Center. I know we've just kind of gone off on a random tangent here.
That's
but
okay.
such is life. Um, she said if you look at the tag and you see that date, if it's been sitting there since, because I saw this a lot. There were a lot of things in there that have been there sitting there like since October of last year.
Yeah.
So almost going on a year at that point, or whatever it was. And you can go in there and say like, hey, I know this has been sitting here for a while because it's been sitting there even longer than that, because you guys have the however long day period up to that date. It's 30 days, 7 days, whatever it is. That's a good way to get a good deal if that applies to you, because otherwise I have no idea how long something's been on the shelf at one of my local stores,
Right.
unless I've gone in there every week or I've checked the app, because I have a section on my app where it's just to the local stores, just so I can check from time to time. But just fun little fact about my
little nooks and crannies to get yourself a deal every once in a while.
Yeah, but the Firebird, going back to that, was one of those. I think it was one of those older studios, Firebird Studios. It was I think it was like a satiny kind of finish, or like just a cherry red finish. It was really nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Firebirds have just never, they appeal to me. Like, oh yeah, I want one, but I know the second I get one, I'll be like, oh cool, I got it, played it, it's okay, and I know I'll sell it, and I just don't feel like doing all that. I'm trying to break away from that, if anything. But
well, that's kind of where the kit guitar thing. Keith said, by the way, he works on his house every damn day, just to replace the bathroom. Yeah, man, it's
felt that.
never ending. Yep, that's right, bro.
Never ending journey.
You gotta be, when you own a home, or I mean, even if you're renting, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you have to do it yourself anymore. Like, it's so expensive to call for a repair for anything these days. But anyway.
Well, generally speaking, if you rent, I mean, to me anyway. I own my house, but renting before, it was like, if I have to call somebody on your behalf to fix your house,
right,
you're taking it off my rent. Like, that's
yes.
Period. If not,
agreed.
I'm not
there.
I mean,
there's some things in place there to protect your money if you need to when you're renting. So that is kind of a nice thing. But anyway,
believe it or not, renters have.
what were we talking about? Getting stuff for cheap at Guitar Center.
There was that, and then we got off on the working on houses. Yeah, we're kind of just chilling today, man.
Yep, that's right. Dang, I keep forgetting what I'm talking about today. It's wild.
Part-timers, man. Part-timers. That's what my wife always calls it.
Like short timers, like you're about to.
Yeah.
You're about to quit.
You got anything coming up? Weird.
Just
I think last week you got some sponsored stuff, but I know you don't want to.
Yeah, so that's still like sort of waiting in the wings. We'll see what happens with that. I'm reshooting my Tone Deep episode with Keith, who's in the chat, tomorrow. So I'm really looking forward to getting that right this time rather than screwing it up. And so that's going to be a really fun conversation. So next Friday, there's the noon bell. Next Friday, we will have a release of Tone Deep with Keith at For the Love of Guitars with Keith. And then
I think I'm frozen, by the way. Just so you're
aware. You're frozen on my end.
Lovely. Told
this
you.
Is
if you guys
great,
didn't believe
dude.
us, we're having the time of our life.
You know what we really should do is put this on like podcast.
Yeah.
And now I lost your image completely.
Yeah, I unplugged it to try to fix
okay.
it. And that was anyway, you can still hear me, I hope.
I can. Anyway, so yeah, next Friday will be Tone Deep with For the Love of Guitars with Keith, and then the Friday after that will be another Tone Deep episode which I'm really excited about. Um, and then on the 20th, I'm shooting one that I'm very excited about as well. So the Tone Deep thing is starting to gain some traction, which makes me really happy. Because I get to talk to people that I really like and get to know them, and it's a lot of fun. And ask them questions that can maybe help me um, be a better guitarist or a better YouTuber or a better friend or a better dad. A lot of dad talk on all these episodes recently, which has been awesome. Um, and then Friday Night Live. So tomorrow night I'll go live at 10, 10 my time, so 10 West Coast time. And jam and maybe record or whatever. We've got this, I think I plugged it last week, but we have this Band Lab band, and we've been recording some music, and that's been a lot of fun. Just connecting with some of my YouTube buddies and recording music. We got to get you on there, Jonathan.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Yeah, you just sign up for a Band Lab account, and then I'll friend you, and you can just use like Electric Flamingo or whatever, and then I'll invite you to our band, and then there's like a bunch of songs that we've been posting that you can choose from and just like record whatever comes to mind. It's very like a non-judgmental group. Like we all just kind of chat. We have a group chat on there and just kind of like everybody's just really supportive and cool. So that's been a lot of fun. Yossi Mikhail is in the chat. He's our Nordic friend who has been on a tear on BandLab, just a recording machine. So that's been a lot of fun too. Yeah, man. That's about it though. What do you got coming up?
Hopefully my camera here soon. I've done everything that I can. I've even tried switching to my webcam here, but anyway, you can hear me talk, so I'll just tell you what I've got coming up talk wise. So I've got, let's see, I've got a microphone that I was trying to use earlier from a brand that I'm somewhat familiar with, Fine, something like that. You've probably seen them on Amazon a lot. They do a lot of like streaming LED desktop not amps. So you're saying that microphones. But I have that and a boom arm, which I know isn't really the most exciting thing in the world, but there's that. Still waiting on a bunch of Joyo stuff. I don't know what the holdup of that is, but that should be here soon.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what else I got. I know I had some other stuff scheduled. I'll be talking more about my Les Pauls here at some point in time or another.
Yeah.
Probably do the obligatory 50s versus 60s comparison kind of thing because I
That'd be
like
cool.
that idea. Yeah. Oh, that's in a couple days. I thought that was there. Okay, so I got another guitar recently. I don't remember if I've already talked about it or showed it or whatever. I think I did. If I haven't publicly talked about it, I got another SG Junior, and it's a Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this really interesting point because the thing is, and without giving too much of it away, Gibson has the SG Junior back as a Gibson exclusive right now. So the only way that you can get one is either like a quote unquote standard one of the affordable ones, is through Gibson's website. Dealers don't have them, it's Gibson exclusive. Or you can go to the custom shop. They always have one in the custom shop, but they're like knocking on $4,000, right? So they're
Right.
ridiculously expensive. This one was a used one. I almost got one of the Gibson exclusive ones, but I saved myself $300-ish getting one used, and it's the same guitar. I mean, it's a Junior. You can't go to whatever. But there's an interesting point that I had about it and a question that I posed, which is kind of the subject of the video, so I'm not going to give it away.
Yeah.
But stick around for that one because I think it's very interesting. And I put a lot of work into that one. It's not a very long video, but I put a lot of work into it editing wise because I'm trying to get more into editing instead of just being a static shot.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that I've really gotten into too, is more editing, taking longer to do it instead, doing the different camera angles and taking inspiration from different creators and all that. Oh, that was something I wanted to talk about too. I'll have to wait till next time though. I might even make my own video on that. I don't know, but yeah, that's kind of what I got.
Nice, man.
Yeah, I got X Vive something coming up. I have another Cinedu product coming. Thus far, I think it's been pretty okay in this stream. We're not had anybody
Yeah.
say anything otherwise, but
Yeah.
so maybe it's not that doing the internet. Maybe
You
it's just
know,
the internet
it could
doing
have been like we talked about before. I had the noise gate and stuff on my audio as well. So if our
it.
audio
Yeah,
is better over on your channel, then I would say it was probably my fault. Slacking
way
on
to
my
go.
director duties. Yussi asks, have you seen the Guitar Center's Epiphone LP Widow models? Those really
Oh
brightly
Jesus,
colored ones.
yes,
Those are
yes,
my wife, who like she likes guitars, but you know they're not really her thing. She like saw it online and sent me a picture. She's like, "Have you seen these?" And I was like, "Are you giving me
yeah.
permission to buy one?" Like, cause I'll buy
Yeah.
one. Like those things are sick, dude.
Yeah, those are cool. I kind of okay. So here's my thing. I want to play one of those before I get one because I have my heart set on um, the the purple one. I think the
Yeah,
purpley one. I think it was what
I
color it
like
was.
that teal
Um,
one.
yeah, the teal one's cool too.
It
I like the
is.
purple one. But the teal one with like the darker bluish kind of like binding. Oh my god. Here's my thing. The new Epiphones are cool. I can't really vouch for the Inspired by Gibson custom shop ones, like the expensive ones, the top end ones with the Gibson headstock. There's something about the, I guess it's like the '60s versions, and I have this complaint kind of with Epiphone the entire time I played Epiphone. With the slimmer necks, they have these weird shoulders on them,
Really?
and I don't like them. Yes, it's like they're not rounded, kind of up. I don't know where to explain it. I have to show you if my camera would freaking work, but they always feel like somewhat blocky to me, and I've never liked that. That's part of the reason why
Like
I
a square
gravitated,
shoulder, you mean?
kinda, but it's not very sharp. It's subtle, but it's
Yeah.
not subtle enough where you can't notice. And I've brought that point up before, and people be like, "Yes, I know what you're talking about."
Hmm.
So I know I'm not the only one, but
Hmm.
that's kind of the reason why I gravitated more towards the thicker necks because they don't have that. If you pick up like a 50 standard, like just the straightforward like 650, 50 standard,
Yeah.
those are great. I
Yeah.
love those things. The one that I had that was like a lemon burst, whatever, that thing was awesome.
Right.
Um, but even now they still have that weird shoulder, and like with the Gibson that I have now, the one, well, you can't see it, but you don't feel it. It's that same slimness. It's a comfortable slim, but it's not. But it's rounded. It's like a, I don't know the letter D shape, not a D shape. It's like a more of a C shape. I don't know. You get my point. It's
Yeah.
more of like a half circle
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
like a half square rectangle ish thing. So with going back to my point with that, with the Widow, I would want to try one of those to see if by chance they have that weird thing because I know they're gonna have a slim neck on it. I know they
Yeah, it's
are.
definitely like geared towards metal.
Yeah,
Mountain Man says his acoustic is a 60 model J45 at the very least. It might actually be a 60. 60 J45. He loves it. Yeah, they they trimmed it down in the 60s. People didn't, it's just so weird for a manufacturer to chase the whims of us guitar players, you know?
yeah,
Like with neck profiles and fingerboard radii and like all that weird stuff. It's just like we're an impossible group to like please, and at the same time we all still just play Telecaster Strats and Les Pauls. You know, it's like we're impossible to please except you've already done it a million times. So I don't really get chasing what everybody wants. The guitar manufacturers should just make stuff that is cool and we will either like it or not like. I don't know. It's just funny. Um,
yeah.
like the headstock thing. Yossi brings that up. Like we've talked about this before. I have no problem with the 90s Epiphone headstocks and the early 2000s. Like they're fine, you know. But there are so many people out there that are like, "Why can't you just use a Gibson headstock like Squire does with the Strat?" And it's like
Yeah.
because honestly, probably because it's cheaper to like mill the corners off. And
Yeah, because
like,
they glue those pieces onto the Gibsons. The wings are glued on, or the
yeah.
little open end bullet thing, they're glued on.
And then they
So
did
that's
the
extra labor. You know?
then they did the 50s Epiphone or 40s Epiphone headstock for a year, and that wasn't good enough. It's like we got rid of the little curvy nibs on the end, and we gave you a a narrower. And people were like, "Just do the Gibson one." It's like, what?
And guess what now, folks? It's $1,500 to get.
Now it's more
a new
expensive just
Epiphone.
because
Which I know
you
that the headstock
demanded the
wasn't the
Gibson
only.
headstock.
Yeah, and I know Epiphone. I know that that is not the reason, the big reason for but I've just never understood the argument that people have with Epiphone. It's like they want it to be a Gibson so bad, but they want it to pay the Epiphone
$4.99.
Epiphone price. They want to pay $4.99 for the USA made pickups and the CTS pots and the orange drop capacitors.
Yeah.
They want all the bells and whistles with the headstock. And it's like, well, if they could do that, then Gibsons would be $500, but
Right.
they're not.
Yeah, it's like
you see the result of y'all's bitching for 20 years, 30 years, whatever it is. You got it, and people are now saying Epiphone's too expensive. That's your fault.
that's your fault.
That is your fault.
You got what you asked
trying
for.
to advocate for the old stuff, and I still do. I'm like, look, it is fine. Get over it. They play great. They're workhorse guitars. Just pick it up and play it. Put the freaking pickups in it afterwards.
Yeah.
Do all the stuff afterwards, because then you can customize it. But we want nitro. That's about the only thing they don't do on the Epiphones now is put nitro finishes on them.
Right.
And you know what? If they do that, and then they skyrocket up even higher to $2,200 or whatever, it's gonna be like, well, you're still gonna go buy the Gibson because it says Gibson on the headset. You're not gonna go buy the Epiphone. It
Right.
doesn't matter. It does not matter.
Because frankly, if you go on Reverb and you go to the Gibson demo shop, you can get a heavily discounted actual Gibson with nitro for if you're buying like a junior or something like that, you're getting that for like 17. Like it can go, the studios go as low as like $14.99, which is like cheaper than the Epiphone Gibson custom shop collaboration guitar. You get like an actual Gibson. It's like at this point, like Epiphone is reaching to compete directly with low-end Gibsons. And it's like, what's the point of that? I don't see a point of that. Like Epiphone's supposed to be cheap. I want it to be cheap.
Right.
I want it to have corners cut on the headstock and otherwise to make it less expensive so that the guitar style is accessible to people who don't have a lot of money. And right now, the guitar style is not accessible to anybody unless you have a lot of money, because now the Epiphones are expensive.
Yeah.
It's just silly.
And it's, if anything, it's going to help the used market because people are going to seek out the used stuff. A good example, going off of guitars completely. Hi, Trash Slayer. I see you in the comments. He says, getting crackle audio, but I'm on the interstate, so it could just be his thing. It could be. I don't know. We've had this problem for, weeks?
This is week number 3 now.
Week number 3, something like that.
One day we'll learn.
You would think. And I will say this too, just kind of going off topic here too. So Trash Slayer, he actually, so the dude, I'm not going to give away too much about him, but he's a cool dude, comments on my videos a lot. He's from Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Dude came down here to Georgia. He was going to the Metallica, Pantera, whoever else was playing concert, that whole thing. And he said, it's better now, so there you go. He came down here, and he actually ended up going to Hot Frog, that music store that I promote sometimes, the local music store.
Yeah.
And he was there, And the guy that owns it, Brad, he messaged me. He's like, "Hey, one of your dudes is here." And I'm like, "Oh, he came down and actually did it." So I do appreciate that, man. That really that made my day. I couldn't go see him. I would have like jumped in the car and went down there and be like, "Hey, man, that's so cool." But I was literally 5 hours away at that point. So,
Yeah.
but I do appreciate it, man. He said it's awesome. Yeah, it's a cool shop. It's really cool. Fun fact too about that. I don't want to give too much away about this either. I'm hopefully in the works of doing some collaborative stuff with him too. That's been in the talks. I've done a sponsored video with him before where I did the acoustic, the Martin strings.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping to get in there and start shooting some stuff for him. That may be like a collaborative thing on my channel or his channel. So if you want to subscribe to the Hot Frog Music YouTube channel, I don't know if he's really active on there right now,
Yeah.
but we're gonna try to maybe get that up and going because the video where I talked about it, the first act video I did not that long ago, kind of took off a little bit. So he's getting a lot of exposure on that end. But so Trash Slayer, thank you very much for going down there and checking that out.
Yeah, man, that's sick.
Letting him know. So yeah. So okay, so going to my point that I had real quick.
Yeah.
So the Nintendo Switch 2 is
Right.
I think released today. There's a lot of controversy behind that, but I've seen so many people saying they're just going to wait until it goes on the used market to get it. They're not going to buy it brand new, which I think is going to be the same effect with the Epiphones. Again, two totally different things. There's a lot of reasons why the Switch 2 is something you shouldn't get. I'm not a gaming channel, so do your own research. People talk about it all the time. But yeah, same thing with Epiphone. Like you can go and find the used, inspired by Gibson custom shop Epiphones for like $600 or $700 off of what they were used, because Epiphones are going to retain their value a little bit, but I mean, you're going to get it for like half off if you search used.
Basically, yeah,
enough.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're still getting it all, whatever. And people tend to get things like that if they buy them and then turn around and sell them. They're like barely used. Like maybe they didn't like the neck on it and they couldn't return it, so they just sold it. And it's like you're getting a bargain at that. You're getting like a brand new guitar at that. Just shop used if you can, because some of the prices are ridiculous. And it's pawn shops. Pawn shops are cool.
Pawn shops are very.
I need to really go to certain pawn shops. I know I'm rambling at this point.
It's okay. I have a few. Keith says he just got one of those new switches this morning. He said they had a ton at Target. Congrats. Hopefully that's a lot of fun. Steve says,
don't look at it the wrong way or Nintendo will break your system. Remember, according to Nintendo, you do not own that system. And when you buy those games, I'm not ragging you, by the way. I'm not calling you a dummy or whatever. But when you buy the games and spend that $70+ on the games, you don't own those games.
Oh, it's all platform based. It's all on there.
Yeah, so when you buy the little card and you put it in the Switch, what it does is it's a code on the card. The game is not on the card. It's a code on the card, and it gives you access in the store essentially to play the game.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, no, it's straight up like you don't own the system, even though you buy it, because you can't mod it, you can't jailbreak it, you can't do anything to it, because if you do any of that, make any modification, and this is all in their like user agreement.
The disclaimer, yeah.
They will send something to your Switch and brick it, and you just can't use it. They'll just like they will console ban you is essentially what that is. And I'm like, that is ridiculous. You're paying like $500 for this thing.
Keith says that's the way it is now everywhere. That's why they don't make discs anymore or require a patch to play. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy my boys a Game Boy, like an actual Game Boy. And they're going to play 8-bit.
See you, Trash Slayer. Just real quick. He said he's got to go.
All right. Later, man. Jimmy Biter jumped in to say what's up. What's up, Jimmy? Anyway, yeah, Steve Gunner said Epiphone always seemed to him like a more expensive version of what Squire is to Fender. That's 100% true. The most expensive Squires you'll find are the Classic Vibes, and they are about on par with $499 Epiphone quality, and they're about $499. So I always thought like Classic Vibes was like finally Squire reaching what Epiphone standard was doing for years, and then Epiphone's like, well, people want these to be, I don't know, it was all. And then he also asked thoughts on the Gibson SG Diablo. I don't know if we have time for that this week, but the other comment is, yes, he says the angle of the Epiphone headstock keeps tuning better, right? Yeah, I think that's that. They have
It's
the
like a
splice in
3-degree
the neck,
difference.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's with Epiphone. I think Gibsons have 17 degrees, and I believe Epiphones have 14 degrees. So it's like a slight difference, but it's enough to where I have noticed people will complain about Epiphones tuning. I'm like, I've never had tuning stability issues with maybe one Epiphone,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I mean, even like the Gibsons I got. I mean, I had to tune the 60s one that I'm holding now. If I'm confused whether you guys can actually see me or not, but if not, still holding it. I've had to retune this one a couple times just because it's, the G string's gone out, which, you know, jokes on everybody because that's what the G string does all the time. But anyway, um, yeah, and I think it has to do with that neck break angle. I really do. I know it's
sure.
3 degrees, but I mean, you look at like neck shims, they're literally like 0.25 of a degree, and it makes a huge difference. So I mean, it really is a game of inches when it comes to guitars. I think
Yeah,
I believe that wholeheartedly.
yeah. Well, dude, I probably got to get back to it here.
Yeah, I know. We started about 20 minutes late. We're in it about 20 minutes late, so
that's
that works.
right.
We got a solid hour in. So
Yeah, man. Well, everybody, thanks for joining us on this latest episode of Technical Difficulties with Sean and Jonathan.
that's gonna be our substream.
And
Yo, that'd be a cool after show thing.
that's what we should call. We were talking about maybe doing an after show. We we should like do an after show called Technical Difficulties. And
That's cool. I like that. We'll have to uh what's that one term? Something room, that idea. You know what I
ruminate.
mean? Not ruminate. There's a term for it.
Oh, War Room.
Yeah, there you go. Something
Yeah,
like that.
think tank. War
Either
Room.
way.
Yeah, one of those.
We'll do that, and we'll get back to you guys on that. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us, everybody in my chat, Rick Richards and Trash Slayer. I don't know if you guys are still around, but if you are, thank you very much. And remember to tune in next Thursday, hopefully at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Maybe we'll have things going at 2. If not, we'll be 20 minutes late again. But you love us, and you'll stick around for it.
That's right.
I know you do, because you guys do time and time again. But yeah, thank you guys. I know my camera's gone, but I'm gonna head out too.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Have a good day.
Yep, y'all have a good one.